Right now, as you're watching this video, you might be going through the darkest chapter of your life. Maybe you've lost your job, your relationship is falling apart, or you're facing financial ruin. You're probably asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Where is God in all of this? Here's what Napoleon Hill, the man who studied over 500 of the most successful people in history, discovered about these moments of intense struggle. He found that every single person who achieved extraordinary success went through what he called the crucible of testing right before their greatest breakthrough. You see, what you're experiencing right now isn't punishment, it's preparation. And in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to reveal to you the 7 unmistakable signs that God is testing you before He blesses you with something so magnificent that you needed to become a different person to handle it. These aren't just feel-good concepts, these are the exact patterns that Napoleon Hill identified in people like Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, and Henry Ford before they transformed their lives forever. But before we dive into these 7 signs, let me ask you something that might change everything for you. What if I told you that the very thing that's breaking you right now is actually the thing that's making you? What if your current struggle isn't the end of your story, but the beginning of your greatest chapter? By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these divine signs in your own life, but you'll understand exactly why you had to go through this fire to receive what's coming next. And trust me, when you see sign number 7, you'll realize that everything you've been through has been leading to this moment. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years studying the most successful people who ever lived, and he discovered something that will change how you see your current situation forever. He found that before every major blessing, there's always a test. Not just any test, a divine test that strips away everything you think you know about yourself and forces you to become the person worthy of that blessing. Think about it, would you give a Ferrari to someone who's never driven a car? Of course not. That's exactly what God is doing with you right now. He's not punishing you, He's preparing you for something so extraordinary that your current self couldn't handle it. Here's what Hill realized: every single person who achieved massive success went through what he called the dark night of the soul right before their breakthrough. Andrew Carnegie lost everything before becoming the richest man in America. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Henry Ford went bankrupt twice before creating the Ford Motor Company. The pattern is undeniable, and if you're experiencing these signs right now, you're about to join their ranks. But here's the catch: most people quit right before their miracle happens. Don't be one of them. Sign number 1: overwhelming obstacles appear out of nowhere. When God is preparing to bless you, He doesn't make life easier, He makes it impossible. Suddenly, everything that could go wrong does go wrong. Your car breaks down, your boss fires you, your relationship ends, and your bank account hits zero all in the same week. Napoleon Hill called this organized opposition, the universe testing your determination before rewarding your persistence. Here's what most people don't understand: these obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Every obstacle is God asking you one simple question: how badly do you want what I'm about to give you? Think about a muscle growing stronger. It doesn't happen when you're relaxing on the couch, it happens when you're pushing against resistance that feels impossible to overcome. That's exactly what's happening to your character right now. You're being forged in the fire of adversity because the blessing coming your way requires a level of strength you don't have yet. Hill said it best: every adversity carries with it the seed of equivalent advantage. Your current pain is tomorrow's power. Sign number 2: you feel completely isolated and alone. The second sign is brutal but necessary: everyone around you starts to disappear. Friends stop calling, family members doubt your decisions, and even your closest allies begin to question your path. You feel like you're walking through a desert with no one beside you. This isn't abandonment, this is divine isolation. God is removing every crutch, every safety net, every person you've been depending on so you can discover the incredible strength that's been inside you all along. Napoleon Hill went through this exact experience when he was writing Think and Grow Rich. People called him crazy, publishers rejected his manuscript, and even his own family thought he was wasting his time. But that isolation forced him to dig deeper into his own conviction and create something that would change millions of lives. When God isolates you, He's not leaving you alone, He's giving you space to become who you're meant to be without the noise and opinions of others drowning out your inner voice. Sign number 3: your faith gets stretched to the breaking point. Here's where it gets intense. Just when you think you can't take anymore, God asks you to believe in something you can't see, hold on to something you can't touch, and trust in something that makes absolutely no logical sense. Your faith gets stretched so thin that you feel like it's about to snap. This is the moment when most people give up. They say, "I've had enough faith. I've believed long enough. Nothing is working." But this is exactly when your breakthrough is about to happen. Hill studied this phenomenon extensively and found that every great achiever went through what he called the faith crisis. It's that moment when everything you believe is put to the ultimate test. The reason God stretches your faith this far is because what He's about to give you is so big that only unwavering faith can sustain it. Small faith gets small results. But the kind of faith that's been tested in the fire of impossibility? That faith moves mountains and creates miracles. Sign number 4, people start attacking your dreams. When God is about to promote you, the enemy tries to discourage you. Suddenly, everyone becomes a critic. People who never said a word about your goals are now experts on why you should quit. Your family tells you to be realistic. Your friends say you're living in a fantasy. Even strangers feel the need to share their negative opinions about your path. This isn't coincidence, this is spiritual warfare. Napoleon Hill faced this exact situation when he first started talking about the power of positive thinking. People mocked him, called his ideas nonsense, and said he was filling people's heads with false hope. But here's what he understood that most people don't: when everyone around you is telling you to quit, you're probably closer to your breakthrough than you think. The closer you get to your destiny, the louder the opposition becomes. Don't let their fear become your reality. Sign number 5, you're forced to develop skills you never wanted. God has a funny way of preparing you for your blessing. He makes you learn things you never planned to learn. Maybe you're naturally shy, but suddenly you're forced to speak in public. Maybe you hate technology, but now you have to master it to survive. Maybe you've always avoided leadership, but circumstances are pushing you to take charge. This isn't punishment, this is preparation. God is downloading skills into your life that you'll need for where He's taking you. Hill discovered that every successful person had to develop abilities they initially resisted. They didn't choose these skills, the skills chose them through their circumstances. Carnegie didn't want to learn about steel manufacturing, but his situation demanded it. Edison didn't plan to become an inventor, but his challenges forced him to create solutions. When life is forcing you to grow in areas you're uncomfortable with, celebrate it. You're being equipped for something bigger than you can imagine. Sign number 6, your current situation becomes unbearable. This is the sign that breaks most people. Your current situation becomes so uncomfortable, so painful, so absolutely unbearable that you have no choice but to change. You can't go back to who you were, and you can't stay where you are. It's like being in a burning building, you have to find the exit or perish. This divine discomfort is actually God's greatest gift to you because it forces you to take action you would have never taken otherwise. Hill called this the burning bridges principle. Sometimes God has to burn every bridge behind you so you have no choice but to cross the bridge ahead of you. When your current situation becomes unbearable, it's not because God is being cruel, it's because He loves you too much to let you settle for less than your destiny. The pain you're feeling right now is the labor pains of your new life being born.